Public notice of this meeting pursuant to the Open Publics Meeting Act has been given on December 13th, 2023 by the city clerk in the following manner. Posting written notice on the official bulletin board in the lobby of City Hall, providing written notice to the offices of the Daily Journal and Press of Atlantic City, and filing written notice in the office of the city clerk of the city of Vineland.
And at this time, is there anyone in the public who wishes to be heard?
We're going to do the minutes.
Oops, sorry. What? I watch it every time. Chair entertains a motion that the 2024 minutes of the pre-meeting conference, regular meeting, and closed meeting of February 13th and the work session of February 20th, 2024 be approved as submitted.
So moved. I second.
Make one correction, there is no closed meeting to be adopted this evening. So that's stricken from that. So it'll be the pre-meeting, regular meeting, the 13th, and the work session on the 20th. Okay.
Thank you.
All right. Councilman Franceschini?
Yes.
Councilman Spinelli?
Yes.
Councilman Vargas?
Yes.
Dr. Arthur?
Yes.
Okay. We'll open up the general public comment portion of this meeting. Public comment provides an opportunity for members of the public to inform the governing body about their views. The governing body prescribes the City Council's bylaws and the New Jersey statutes and open public meetings when engaging during public comment. As such, each individual shall have a 5-minute limit to comment, cannot yield time to another individual, may only approach the podium once during public comment for any one topic. Vulgar and offensive language is prohibited, and City Council will not engage in dialogue with the public during this time. The governing body maintains model courtesy and respect and requires the members of the public to do the same.
And at this time, if there is anyone in the public who wishes to be heard, please come to the mic to my left here. State your name and the municipality in which you reside.
We'll read a resolution or an ordinance, and it'll ask for public input if you want it.
This is comment time if you want to talk about potholes, anything else, or the broadband. You certainly are welcome to do that.
You will have the opportunity to, when we read that ordinance, you will have the opportunity, it will be asked, is there anyone in the public who wishes to be heard on that particular ordinance? You may come up then. Thank you. And you will have 5 minutes in which to make your comments. You're welcome. Is there anyone in the public who wishes to be heard on any item at this time? If not, Mr. Franchetta.
Okay. I present ordinance number 2024-09. Ordinance amending ordinance 98-42 as amended chapter 372, article 1, section 372-14 of the code of the city of Vineland entitled Public Water Supply for Firefighting, which is ready for a public hearing.
Chair entertains a motion that ordinance number 2024-09 be taken up for a public hearing and open to the public for discussion.
So moved. I second.
Councilman Franceschini?
Yes.
Councilman Spinelli?
Yes.
Councilman Vargas?
Yes.
Dr. Arthur?
Yes. Is there anyone in the audience at this time who wishes to be heard on this ordinance, number 2024-09? No one? Mr. Franchetta?
Motion to close?
Oh, Chair entertains a motion that the public hearing on ordinance number 2024-09 be closed.
So moved. I second.
Councilman Franceschini?
Yes.
Councilman Spinelli?
Yes.
Councilman Vargas?
Yes.
Dr. Arthur?
Yes. Chair entertains a motion that ordinance number 2024-09 be taken up for final reading and adopted according to law.
So moved. Second.
During the discussion by council on this motion? None?
Councilman Franceschini?
Yes.
Councilman Spinelli?
Yes.
Councilman Vargas?
Yes.
Dr. Arthur?
Yes.
Ordinance number 2024-09. Ordinance amending ordinance 98-42 as amended, chapter 372, article 1, section 372-14 of the Code of the City of Vineland, entitled Public Water Supply for Firefighting. With a vote of 4 yeas, this ordinance is hereby adopted.
Mr. Franchetta, please submit ordinance number 2024-09 to the mayor for his approval or disapproval.
Yes.
Thank you.
I present ordinance number 2024-10, an ordinance to release, vacate, and extinguish any and all public rights in and to Pennsylvania Avenue, a dedicated but unbuilt street, which is ready for a public hearing.
Chair entertains a motion that ordinance number 2024-10 be taken up for a public hearing and open to the public for discussion.
So moved.
I second.
Councilman Franceschini?
Yes.
Councilman Spinelli?
Yes.
Councilman Vargas?
Yes.
Dr. Arthur?
Yes. Is there anyone in the audience who wishes to be heard on ordinance number 2024-10 at this time? No one? Chair entertains a motion that ordinance number 2024-10 be closed.
So moved.
Second.
Councilman Franceschini?
Yes.
Councilman Spinelli?
Yes.
Councilman Vargas?
Yes.
Dr. Arthur?
Yes. Chair entertains a motion that ordinance number 2024-10 be taken up for final reading and adopted according to law.
So moved.
I second.
Is there any discussion by council on this motion? None?
Councilman Franceschini?
Yes.
Councilman Spinelli?
Yes.
Councilman Vargas?
Yes.
Dr. Arthur?
Yes.
Ordinance number 2024-10. An ordinance to release, vacate, and extinguish any and all public rights in and to Pennsylvania Avenue, a dedicated but unbuilt street. With a vote of 4 yeas, this ordinance is hereby adopted.
Mr. Franchetta, please submit ordinance number 2024-10 to the mayor for his approval or disapproval.
Yes.
Thank you.
I present ordinance number 2024-11, an ordinance amending the Vineland City Code to establish in the Department of Administration a broadband utility service, Chapter 5, Utilities, Article 17, Vineland Broadband Utility, which is ready for a public hearing.
Chair entertains a motion that ordinance number 2024-11 be taken up for a public hearing and adopted according to law. Or for a public hearing and open to the public for discussion.
So moved.
Sorry.
I second.
Councilman Franceschini?
Yes.
Councilman Spinelli?
Yes.
Councilman Vargas?
Yes.
Dr. Arthur?
Yes. At this time, is there anyone in the public who wishes to be heard on ordinance number 2024-11? Please come to the podium, state your name and the municipality in which you live. Also, there is a timer. You have 5 minutes, and the timer will start when you start talking. Thank you.
My name is Dan Pinino. I'm on Mays Landing Road in Vineland, New Jersey. My understanding is that every aspect of the broadband, can't remember the term, when we were at the last meeting at the college, if this is exactly the same, I didn't know this meeting was coming tonight, but we're here for the for that broadband, and I would like to say that they were going to charge $45 million to the Cumberland County. That was going to go into our taxes, and to maintain that broadband was going to cost $12 million a year. And our understanding and reading and checking out all of the data that went with that was that most of the municipalities that tried it and used it ended up it failing, and it never worked for the municipalities. Now, I hear broadband, but I don't hear anything about the dark, you remember what that was? Dark matter. Sorry about that. I'm sorry, I can't remember the term, but anyhow, it's the use of the unused wires that they bring into the, if Verizon brings in 130 wires, they only use 50, then the rest is sitting dark. So those dark wires are picked up by an additional company, and they're run to places that don't have broadband right now. If this is what this broadband is about, then that's what I'm opposing right now, because in 99% of the places that it was used, it never made it. It failed, and the city or the county was left with the bill. So at $45 million, which is the amount that they quoted at the Cumberland County College, and then an additional $12 million after that for maintenance, seems to be, to me, a big burden on the county of Cumberland, and especially if it's being proposed to just Vineland itself. If, let me gather my thoughts here, if excuse me one second. There was additional questions asked to the representative from the broadband person. How many of these broadband, and additionally, those wires that were left were sold at so much per wire. And when they said how many of these wires were sold, they only accounted for 9. So they had been advertising them, to my understanding, greatly. You know, they were really pushing these wires to be sold, and they couldn't sell any more than 9. I might be wrong. So as of the time we were at the college, which was about three or 4 months ago, they only sold 9 of these wires, and they had 100 or 200 of them to sell. So in order to cover that cost of $45 million, they would have to sell these wires for X amount of dollars. So they didn't do that, and they just dropped that subject real quick. There was also some advocates from Washington, D.C. there, which backed up all these figures about all the municipalities and all of the states that took this deal with the broadband company that was going to put this out and sell these additional wires that they had left over, which are called dark wires or whatever. I'm sorry, I don't know the exact term of that tonight. We were just called earlier today to come. So my opposition to this is that our economy is not very hefty right now. We don't have people don't have a lot of money. They don't have a lot left over. Our gasoline is high. Everything that we have is high. So to get the benefit out of these additional wires, they would all have to be sold, and since they weren't sold as of the time, it was a very bad deal for the Cumberland County.
All right.
So I put my opposition in for that.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
PENNINO. You're very welcome.
Thank you, sir.
Lower that.
Too short. You can lower. So my name is Ava. I'm Dan's wife. Okay, to continue where Dan left off, the people in the room were actually under the impression they were going to benefit from these wires. They will not. This will not meet the general public. It will not be helping the people who be working this bill. And like Dan was saying, a lot of these people, a lot of the elderly, okay, we cannot afford the higher taxes. It just can't be done, okay? There's just too many other things out there we have to pay for, like food, gas, electric, okay? Dan hit on a lot of different information that I didn't really have, or I was at the meeting, but I wasn't, making notes on this. I thought we were done with this, but I guess we're not. At the other meeting, they had a gentleman who worked really hard on this, and he was really pushing for it, okay, because he didn't want to make all the work that he'd put into it to go to the waste. He felt it was a good idea, but he's not the one paying the bill. We are, the public, the ones who put you in office, you on the board, okay? And we're asking you now to not do the broadband. Do you want to be considerate? A lot, like Dan said, a lot of the cities, a lot of the states that started it, check into it. You're going to find out It was not completed. It was not completed, and it did not fulfill the obligation. It didn't do anything for anybody. All it did was leave a big hole for someone to pay for. We can't afford any more holes. We really can't. That's it.
Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you.
Steve Lewis, Vineland, New Jersey. I've been getting spam calls, and it happened to be from this Jersey First. They finally left a message, right? And I read the message, and to me it sounded like it's going to cost tens of millions of dollars. There's no real account on what things were really going to be. And until you can really find out what things actually cost, you don't know if it's good or if it's bad. And I suggest that, first off, why isn't there a representative here tonight from Jersey First? They put out all these calls, and they have a problem with it. And so where are they tonight? Why aren't they here, right? And then they can discuss it, and then we can really find out what we do know, what we don't know, you know? And I think that's the right way to do it. I also think that I didn't know anything, but I always come to the meetings, and most of the time I'm the only one here, and that's sad. When I come to the pre-meeting, I ask the question, what was going on, they explained it to me, and I wish City Council could explain it to you the way they explained it to me, and maybe somebody will come out with something new that will change their minds, but they're just looking into it the way I understand them telling me, and it's not something that's set in stone. So they are doing due diligence and trying to find out what the costs are. It's, you know, because it's easy for somebody to just send you a phone call and say, and scare you and say, this is what it's going to cost, right? And this is what it is and what it isn't. And that's the problem I have with these things. It's raining out here. You know, we got a few people that came, which is nice. But where is Jersey First? They're the ones that put the message out for people to come, but they're not here. So what do they have that they're going to benefit by? That's the question I always ask. And I've always been told, follow the money. So who do they work for? What's going on? What's the real issue here? What's the real cost? And until we can find out what it is, I can't make my mind up to say yes or no, you know, because maybe it's a good deal, maybe it's not. It'd be up to City Council. They have to do their due diligence and figure out if it's good or bad. But I suggest anybody that's concerned to come to the work sessions, right? They have work sessions the first and third Tuesday of the month, every month, right? And then you can actually sit at the table with them and have a discussion. Here you come, you can't have a discussion because that's not how it's run. You can come talk, you can say what you want to say, and then you sit down. Well, then you didn't accomplish anything, really. It's just that you voiced your opinion, right? So until you can have a real conversation with people and sit down and talk to them, I think you can change your mind or you can disagree with them. And that's the way it should be, you know? And I've been coming here for years, previous councils, and this one here, sometimes I don't agree with them and I voice my opinion. Sometimes I win, sometimes I lose, but hey, at least I come and I voice my opinion. So people that don't come, look at how many people are here tonight for the whole city. Only a handful of people are concerned enough to come. And that's a shame. And you don't know what's going on. So, like I said, the best thing to do is come to a work session meeting, you know, and have a talk to them. On your paper, they have phone numbers. You can call them personally and talk to them, the city council, you know, and really get to figure out what's going on and let them explain to you in person or on the phone, because they're not going to get into a conversation with you tonight about this, because that's not how it's run. So anyway, I hope that if you're really interested, that's what you do, and maybe you can bring your point, they can have their point, you can agree and disagree. Maybe you might change their mind if it's something that they want. But until you do that, you know, I don't know what Jersey First is, but they're not here. And you people are here tonight in the rain, but they're not here. And they're the ones that told you to come or asked you to come. So to me, I don't have much faith in them either. So, thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Lewis.
Steve Soloff from Vineland. Soloff. I'm going to piggyback off of what this gentleman said. I was getting the advertisements on Instagram about Jersey First and the broadband thing, and I made the same assumption that it was the same type of project. But I actually got in contact with Mayor Finucci, and he spoke with me about it, and he said that they're very different projects, and the $60 million proposal that Jersey First was putting out was nowhere even near accurate. And when I asked the mayor about how much it would actually cost, he said there would be no significant cost because we already have fiber. So the impression I got from him is he's just upgrading for infrastructure in regards to how the fire department will be run in the future, how the police department will be run in the future, for like more advanced contact for emergencies and stuff like that. That might be wrong, but that was the impression I got. So, yeah, like what he said, maybe trying to contact the mayor or going to the work sessions to get a more direct information source. Because I was in your shoes a couple days ago. I just saw a thing on Instagram, and I was like, oh, here we go again. But apparently they're very different, so I know that's just my opinion, but that's where I would go. Thanks.
Thank you, sir. Is there anyone else who wishes to be heard on this ordinance at this time? No one? Franchette?
Motion to close?
Needs a motion that the public hearing on ordinance number 2024-11 be closed.
So moved.
I second.
Councilman Franceschini?
Yes.
Councilman Spinelli?
Yes.
Councilman Vargas?
Yes.
Dr. Arthur?
Yes. Chair entertains a motion that ordinance number 2024-11 be taken up for final reading and adopted according to law.
So moved.
I second.
Is there any discussion by council on this motion?
Just very quickly, I think Mr. Soloff was right in his take that with your conversation with Mayor Finucci. It's nothing like what the county was doing. And if people came to a work session where we could actually have a little bit more of a discussion, they would learn that. And you're right, the infrastructure is already in because they've been putting it in since 1998 or 1997, something like that. So the fiber's in and we own our own poles. So a lot of the things that other people would incur in cost, we already have in place. That's it.
Anything further? Okay.
Councilman Franceschini?
Yes.
Councilman Spinelli?
Yes.
Councilman Vargas?
Yes.
Dr. Arthur?
Yes.
Ordinance number 2024-11, an ordinance amending the Vineland City Code to establish in the Department of Administration a broadband utility service, Chapter 5, Utilities, Article 17, Vineland Broadband Utility. With a vote of 4 yeas, this ordinance is hereby adopted.
Franchetta, please submit ordinance number 2024-11 to the mayor for his approval or disapproval.
Yes.
Thank you.
I present ordinance number 2024-12, ordinance authorizing the execution of an agreement of sale and such other closing documents necessary for the acquisition of certain properties owned by Christ the Good Shepherd Parish, known as Block 3119, lots 19, 20, 22, and 23 on the Vineland tax map to the Vineland Industrial Commission, which is ready for a public hearing.
Chair entertains a motion that ordinance number 2024-12 be taken up for a public hearing and open to the public for discussion.
So moved.
I second.
Councilman Franceschini?
Yes.
Councilman Spinelli?
Yes.
Councilman Vargas?
Yes.
Dr. Arthur?
Yes. Is there anyone in the audience who wishes to be heard on ordinance number 2024-12? No one? Chair entertains a motion that ordinance number 2024-12 be closed.
So moved.
I second.
Councilman Franceschini?
Yes.
Councilman Spinelli?
Yes.
Councilman Vargas?
Yes.
Dr. Arthur?
Yes. Chair entertains a motion that ordinance number 2024-12 be taken up for a final reading and adopted according to law.
So moved.
I second.
Is there any discussion by council on this motion? None?
Councilman Franceschini,
Yes.
Councilman Spinelli,
I will abstain since I'm conflicted.
abstention. Councilman Vargas,
Yes.
Dr. Arthur.
Yes.
About time you recognize that.
Ordinance number 2024-12, ordinance authorizing the execution of agreement of sale and other such closing documents necessary for the acquisition of certain properties owned by Christ the Good Shepherd Parish, known as Block 3119, lots 19, 20, 22, and 23 on the Vineland tax map to the Vineland Industrial Commission with a vote of 3 yeas, 1 abstention. This ordinance is hereby adopted.
Franchetta, please submit ordinance number 2024-12 to the mayor for his approval or disapproval.
Yes.
Thank you.
I present ordinance number 2024-13, which is ready for a first reading.
Chair entertains a motion that ordinance number 2024-13 be taken up for the first reading.
So moved.
I second.
Councilman Franceschini,
Yes.
Councilman Spinelli,
Yes.
Councilman Vargas,
Yes.
Dr. Arthur.
Yes.
Ordinance number 2024-13, an ordinance to amend and supplement ordinance number 8, which established the classification and compensation plans for the City of Vineland analyst clerk.
Chair entertains a motion that ordinance number 2024-13 be passed for the first reading and that a public hearing be held on Tuesday, March 12, 2024 at 6:30 p.m.
So moved.
I second.
Is there any discussion by council on this motion? None?
Councilman Franceschini,
Yes.
Councilman Spinelli,
Yes.
Councilman Vargas,
Yes.
Dr. Arthur.
Yes.
Present ordinance number 2024-14, which is ready for a first reading.
Chair entertains a motion that ordinance number 2024-14 be taken up for the first reading.
So moved.
I second.
Councilman Franceschini,
Yes.
Councilman Spinelli,
Yes.
Councilman Vargas,
Yes.
Dr. Arthur.
Yes.
Ordinance number 2024-14, an ordinance to amend and supplement ordinance number 8, which revised the classification and compensation plans for the City of Vineland omnibus operator.
Chair entertains a motion that ordinance number 2024-14 be passed for the first reading and that a public hearing be held on Tuesday, March 12, 2024 at 6:30 p.m.
So moved.
I second.
Is there any discussion by council on this motion? None?
Councilman Franceschini,
Yes.
Councilman Spinelli,
Yes.
Councilman Vargas, Dr. Arthur.
Yes.
I present ordinance number 2024-15, which is ready for a first reading.
Chair entertains a motion that ordinance number 2024-15 be taken up for the first reading.
So moved.
I second.
Councilman Franceschini,
Yes.
Councilman Spinelli,
Yes.
Councilman Vargas,
Yes.
Dr. Arthur.
Yes.
Ordinance number 2024-15, ordinance authorizing the sale of block 5901, lot 70 at private sale in accordance with NJSA 40A:12-13B5.
Chair entertains a motion that ordinance number 2024-15 be passed for the first reading and that a public hearing be held on Tuesday, March 12, 2024 at 6:30 p.m.
So moved.
I second.
Is there any discussion by council on this motion? None?
Councilman Franceschini,
Yes.
Councilman Spinelli,
Yes.
Councilman Vargas,
Yes.
Dr. Arthur.
Yes.
I present ordinance number 2024-16, which is ready for a first reading.
Chair entertains a motion that ordinance number 2024-16 be taken up for the first reading.
So moved.
I second.
Councilman Franceschini,
Yes.
Councilman Spinelli,
Yes.
Councilman Vargas,
Yes.
Dr. Arthur.
Yes.
Ordinance number 2024-16, ordinance amending ordinance 2004-25 as amended, entitled an ordinance adopting the Center City redevelopment plan consistent with resolution 5203 of the planning board of the City of Vineland so as to amend block 3016, lot 17, 726 East Wood Street, consistent with resolution 6634 of the planning board.
Chair entertains a motion that ordinance number 2024-16 be passed for first reading and that a public hearing be held on Tuesday, March 12, 2024 at 6:30 p.m.
So moved.
Second.
Councilman Franceschini,
Yes.
Councilman Spinelli,
Yes.
Councilman Vargas,
Yes.
Dr. Arthur.
Yes. No discussion by council on this?
Thanks. Thank you.
Thank you.
I present ordinance number 2024-17, which is ready for a first reading.
Chair entertains a motion that ordinance number 2024-17 be taken up for the first reading.
So moved.
I second.
Councilman Franceschini,
Yes.
Councilman Spinelli.
Yes.
Councilman Vargas.
Yes.
Dr. Arthur.
Yes.
Ordinance number 2024-17, ordinance amending ordinance 2004-25 as amended, entitled an ordinance adopting the Center City redevelopment plan consistent with Resolution 5203 of the Planning Board of the City of Vineland so as to amend Block 4001, Lot 25.127 Southeast Boulevard, consistent with Resolution 6633 of the Planning Board.
Chair entertains a motion that ordinance number 2024-17 be passed for the first reading, and that a public hearing be held on Tuesday, March 12, 2024, at 6:30 p.m.
So moved.
I second.
Is there any discussion by council on this motion? None?
No, but thanks for asking.
You're welcome. Mr. Franchetta?
Done. Councilman Franceschini,
Yes.
Councilman Spinelli.
Yes.
Councilman Vargas.
Yes.
Dr. Arthur. Resolution number 2024-68, a resolution authorizing and approving the filing of an application with the New Jersey Department of Environmental Protection for supplemental Green Acres program funding for Romano Park Complex improvements, hashtag 0614-21-009, and authorizing the execution of agreements for same. Resolution number 2024-69, a resolution authorizing the payment of an invoice to the New Jersey Public Power Authority for 2024-2025 annual dues and assessments. Resolution number 2024-70, a resolution authorizing the issuance of an mandatory supplemental change order number 1 to contract number 23-0086, issued to Capella Construction Incorporated, Medford Lakes, New Jersey, in the amount of $9,500 even. Resolution number 2024-71, a resolution authorizing an issuance of a mandatory supplemental change order number 2 to contract number C21-0070, purchase order number 21-03496, issued to Environmental Strategies and Applications Incorporated, Middlesex, New Jersey, in an amount of $82,955 even. Resolution number 2024-72, a resolution authorizing a professional services agreement with T&M Associates, Mount Laurel, New Jersey, to provide environmental services for the site evaluation, investigation, and analysis of 544 East Pear Street, former South Jersey ice and cold storage, in an amount not to exceed $55,240 even. Resolution number 2024-73, a resolution authorizing the execution of a professional services agreement with Hardin Borough Insurance Group, Marlton, New Jersey, for risk management consultant services. Resolution number 2024-74, resolution exercising option to extend contract C22-0086 for delivering and supplying office supplies. Resolution number 2024-75, a resolution authorizing award of a contract to Kayenta, a division of Harris Computers, Burnaby, British Columbia, for Kayenta Database and Application Administration Managed Services in an amount not to exceed $116,850.61. Resolution number 2024-76, resolution approving forgivable loans from First Generation Enterprise Zone funds for Project Beautify. Resolution number 2024-77, a resolution to amend resolution number 2024-54, approving surety reduction release or renewal as submitted by the city engineer. Resolution number 2024-78, a resolution canceling outdated checks issued by the city of Vineland. Resolution number 2024-79, a resolution canceling a portion of the unexpended balances of improvement authorizations. Resolution number 2024-80, a resolution establishing a new petty cash fund. Resolution number 2024-81, a resolution making temporary emergency appropriations for the calendar year 2024, pending final adoption of the calendar year 2024 budget. Resolution number 2024-82, a resolution providing for the transfer of certain calendar year 2023 reserve budget appropriations balances. 2024-83, a resolution providing and authorizing the payment of bills and demands against the city of Vineland. Resolution number 2024-84, a resolution authorizing the Director of Department of License and Inspections to issue various original and/or renewal licenses for the year 2024. Resolution number 2024-85, a resolution approving and/or transferring members of the various fire companies of the Vineland Fire Department. Resolution number 2024-86, a resolution authorizing execution of grant agreement with the County of Cumberland Cultural and Heritage Commission for 2024 block grant funding. Resolution number 2024-87, a resolution amending resolution number 2024-31, a resolution providing for the transfer of certain calendar year 2023 reserve budget appropriations balances. Resolution number 2024-88, a resolution amending resolution number 2023-275 entitled "A Resolution Granting a Renewal of Alcoholic Beverage Licenses for the Licensing Period July 1, 2023 to June 30, 2024. Resolution number 2024-89, a resolution granting the renewal of alcoholic beverage licenses for the licensing period July 1, 2023 to June 30, 2024. Resolution number 2024-90, a resolution commending the American Red Cross and designating March 2024 as American Red Cross Month. Resolution number 2024-91, a resolution authorizing the execution of a grant application for grant funding from the Department of Community Affairs to pursue a local recreation improvement grant, LRIG, for the development of pickleball courts. I have reports from the various departments for the month of January 2024. That is all the official business.
Chair entertains a motion to approve all items on the consent agenda.
I second.
Is there any discussion by council on this motion? None?
Councilman Franceschini?
Yes.
Councilman Spinelli?
Yes.
Councilman Vargas?
Yes.
Dr. Arthur?
Yes. Thank you. And at this time, are there any comments from council?
Yes. Just want to thank the Safety Patrol for coming up and doing the flag salute. They're very impressive, all in uniform, great support from the faculty, and as always, it's always nice for them to see kids up here. I actually had the pleasure of reading today in the Reading Across America initiative that the district has, and so I was able to read to second grade class at Petway, which was at my reading level, so I was pretty comfortable. They helped me with some of the big words. This month or this coming month is March. In March is the Red Cross month, and just to let you know that if you don't know, is that Red Cross, the symbol, is the second most recognized symbol in the world. The first is, believe it or not, Coca-Cola. Still get it, man, I don't know. And as we know, the American Red Cross provides blood services that they provide almost half the blood supply in our country. We should be proud of our city because we champion numerous blood drives and very successful blood drives here with City Hall. They have it in the library. Lannis Theater has been really a big component in this past 4 or 5 months. The high school also has a great blood drive, and then every year now we've had the Battle of the Cities. So it's us, Vineland versus Millville and Bridgeton. And, of course we win, but that's, just bragging rights there. So Red Cross also provides health and safety training, such as CPR, AED, first aid. And then the big thing is any money they raised, they earn from blood services or health and safety goes to disaster relief. And of course, you see that symbol when there's hurricanes, tornadoes, floods, that kind of thing. But also single family house fires that our fire department has called numerous times to help displace victims. So, and that's all I have.
Thank you.
Yeah, I'd like to thank Veterans Memorial as well for coming in, flag salute. It's always a pleasure to have the kids coming in. The VDID is preparing for the cruise, which is in June, which is a big event, generally drawing close to 10,000 people to the city. So we are in preparation for that. I know March 15th is karaoke night at Eastland. There's allegedly 300 and some people coming to Eastland for the karaoke night. It's a free event put on by the city of Vineland. And Landis Theater is constantly having their concerts and their restaurants are open. That's it.
Thank you. Councilman Vargas.
None at this time.
Also want to thank the students from Veterans Memorial for coming. They're always, it's always a pleasure to have the students here. And
You read today, right?
what's that?
Did you read today?
I read today as well at Petway School, and so did the mayor. He was
Mayor?
going in as I was coming out, so.
Mr. Spinelli, are you reading?
I am not this year. I'm conflicted this whole week with crazy stuff, so.
We have one more month, and they are doing it in March as well.
Oh, yeah, I think I'm going to
Winslow is coming up.
Yeah, Winslow's
Yes.
coming up.
Also, we have a flag raising, the Irish flag, that's coming up in March as well, is another activity or event here in the city.
May I add one thing?
Sure.
We'd like to thank the people who came out tonight. Usually we don't get Mr. Lewis is it. So we do enjoy having people come out, ask questions, and you are always invited to come to work sessions to get information if you choose to.
Okay. Anything further? Nothing further. Chair entertains a motion to adjourn the regular meeting.
So moved.
I second.
Councilman Franceschini,
Yes.
Councilman Spinelli.
Yes.
Councilman Vargas.
Yes.
Dr. Arthur.
Yes, thank you, and
Have a
have a
good
good
night.
night.